Alright, so I'm going to take you on a quick tour real quick of what's going on in our vegetable garden this year. This is April, beginning of April now, and a lot of stuff is growing. It's really growing every day. You can notice that everything is getting much bigger each day with the warmer temperatures, the warmer soil. So let's check out what we got going on here. So everything is growing nicely in here. As you can see, everything's starting to grow. The last time we did a video, I had just planted the potatoes and onions. As you can see, our potatoes here. These are the 2 rows of potatoes, and they are really coming along quite nicely. And our onions down here, you can kind of see them. They're slowly starting to grow. They're not really doing that well just yet, but they are finally coming along after a lot of cold weather and snow and ice and freezes and stuff. But the potatoes are looking well. Come along down this row here. You can see our kale that we have planted on this row, looking pretty well. And then over here is the Chinese cabbage. It is also growing very nicely here. And then this is a red Russian kale. I bought one plant at the local nursery. And then this was a dinosaur, the Toscano kale. And as you can see, it's already gone to flower. I think what happened, if you look down here, it's come out of the ground. So maybe it fell over. I don't know what happened. I didn't notice it. So this I'll probably just pull up. As you can see, it's gone to flower. We'll eat those little bitty leaves here. They'll be good, but this is not gonna grow any longer. Come down this way. We have our Swiss chard that is growing. This was quite tiny when I first bought it. A little 9-pack of plants at the local store here. And since it's warmed up, this stuff has really started growing very strongly. So we should have a nice bunch of Swiss chard coming soon. I believe that's the Bright Lights variety, or rainbow. This is here some of our lettuces. Here, this romaine. And this is a butter crunch. And that one didn't make it. So there's what we've planted a while back. I just recently planted this row here. Is a variety of peppers, hot peppers, and bell type peppers. Got several different kinds growing, from the spiciest to the most mild, of course. And then down here, over here, I got some seeds I need to plant out today. I'm gonna get working. Or squash, zucchini, maybe some green beans, cucumbers, and in this back bed here, I'm going to show you in a second, is where I'm going to put the corn. But over here, I got 2 little plants of. This is a tomatillo plant that's coming along pretty nice, actually. So got 2 of those here, 2 tomatillo plants as well. We come around here on this end. This year in this bed, I did the tomatoes. It may look like I got carried away here, but actually I limited myself to only buying as many tomatoes as tomato steaks that I had, which is 18, which may seem like a lot, but I usually plant them over here in the main bed, and you will use about 4 rows of tomatoes. But this year I spread them out, keeping things simple, clean, spaced, and cutting back because I don't have a lot of time out here in the garden. But I do have 18 different varieties here. This first 4 are different small grape, yellow pear, sweet 100. Then we got a variety of heirloom and hybrid tomatoes. I like to use both in my garden. Hybrid are a great option. That does not mean they're GMO, but the hybrid are more disease resistant, and sometimes you'll have better success for tomatoes with them. The heirlooms, I still have plenty of success with heirloom tomatoes, which I highly recommend y'all grow, but they may not produce as many tomatoes as some of these other ones, depending on which variety and of course the weather. So that's our tomatoes there. Once they start growing and producing, I'll show you which varieties we have later on. And this end of the bed is what I'm planning on. Is gonna, for the first time this year, we're gonna plant corn. So this year I just went to the local Home Depot and got some seeds. I didn't mess with any online ordering, but I'll just show you real quick what I'm gonna plant today. I've got two varieties of cucumbers here, an heirloom variety, and the burpless beauty. I got several different yellow summer squash, prolific straight neck, got the Fort Hook zucchini, and the saffron straight neck, and this one I've never grown before, pick and pick hybrid. And we're gonna do some green beans. This is a high heirloom variety here, and of course over there I was talking about earlier, we're gonna try to grow this sweet corn heirloom variety. And then I'm gonna also plant some sunflowers. If you seen my previous video on why to grow sunflowers, check it out. I like to plant sunflowers in our garden every year. Really, the main reason is to attract bees to the garden to help pollinate, because I'm not going to go out here and hand pollinate all of my squash plants by hand. That's just crazy talk to me. So I plant flowers, sunflowers specifically. Last year I grew a lot of the mammoth size sunflowers. This year I found these dwarf. I never grew them before. We're going to try and see how small they are. It says 14-inch height. That's what we're going to try to grow this year. And I'm going to put them in this strip down here where last year I had, previous years I had been growing garlic and I didn't get around to planting it this year. So I'm just going to put some sunflowers in this bed and hope for the best. And while I'm walking over here, let me show you this asparagus bed that we have planted many years ago now. Highly recommend growing asparagus. It does take time to produce, but as you can see here, this asparagus is ready to pick. You really have to watch it because it will get big and too tall and tough in a couple of days if you don't pick it. So here is our asparagus bed. As you can see, there is quite a few sprouting and popping up out of the ground. And this thing's nice here. You can break them off or you can cut them, either way. And as you can see, this is nice looking asparagus. So a lot of asparagus out here to get picking. Then on this bed here, this is where we have our blackberries. They're starting to come back. We pruned them pretty heavily last year. And some different herbs. Got a lot of weeds coming out in this bed, so I'm going to get out here and fix that. Then this is this herb here is oregano. Came back from the winter. Oh yeah, you can smell it. It smells great. Nice oregano. Got a lot of weeds in this bed here, so as you can see, if you're wondering, if you're just now joining me and haven't seen my previous videos too much, wondering what all this weed fabric is, what this black stuff is in my garden, there's a video. I'll put some links down below in the description, help you understand and explain why I'm doing that. But this is how you have a zero weed free garden. Here's today's little harvest of asparagus. not bad if I do say so myself. I mean, we'll start picking this amount or more every day. That's how fast they grow. So this is asparagus season, and you can't get any fresher than homegrown asparagus. One thing I get is a lot of questions on when to plant stuff, and it really depends on where you are located, in what region you are, what, you know, hardiness free zone you're in, etc. We're in zone 8A for those that are curious. But if you look at the seed packets, that you can usually tell you exactly when you need to plant items, and how deep and how far apart and how long it will take till they harvest. They're ready to harvest. But if you look here, this is the corn packet that I have. If you look at this little calendar, this map, I am in the orange area down there on the bottom. It says March through May and July through August. This is when to plant corn for us. This packet, this variety, says March through May. So it's pretty simple to really know when to plant if you're unfamiliar of when to plant certain vegetables, and you look at where you are on the map and plant it then. This says direct sow at that time. And then of course I have some other seed packets. This is the yellow squash here I have. Once again showing about the same thing, March through September, direct sow. I'd highly recommend you direct sow squash and green beans and corn and these kind of items. They don't need to be transplanted outside. But then on the top it'll show you the depth, the space, and how long it will take till you harvest, expected harvest date. So if you're unfamiliar of when to plant or how long it will take to harvest, or how far apart to plant something, or how deep to plant anything, check out your seed packet. But one thing I will mention is that some of the seed companies online do not have this information on their seeds. Not all companies will provide this, unfortunately. I have found out. I'm not sure why that is, but as you can see, this gives you a ton of information on your vegetable seeds. So check out your seed packets and you'll be well informed and be able to have a very easily successful garden if you plant your vegetables at the right time for your region. Now once the lettuces and these kales and items like that are done and we harvest them, they're more of a cool season crop, so they're not going to want to grow them in the summertime. It's already getting to be about 80 degrees here at the heat of the day here in Dallas. But you can of course grow it in the summer. It will grow, it will bolt, and it will be very bitter, especially lettuce. So it doesn't taste that great in the summer. So these are cool season crops. Once we harvest all this, I'm actually going to plant in this rows are some okra. Got some okra seeds here, and it's a great summer crop vegetable. Highly recommend growing okra if you haven't before. Very easy to do as well. And the best way I think I like to cook it is to roast it in the oven. You can also of course fry it. It's a very popular way to cook it in the South. But if you've never tried roasted okra, highly recommend it. So that's what we'll be planting in those rows once we harvest our lettuce and kale. Alright, so there's just a quick look at what's going on in our vegetable garden. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned until our next video and show you all what we got going on, what we're harvesting, and much more. As you are aware, we just had a little one here, so we've been quite busy with that and trying to get as much sleep as we can, so not a lot of time in the garden, as you can imagine. But hey, everything is growing, and by the time this stuff is ready to harvest, he'll be ready for his first real foods, hopefully. So he'll be able to eat some of this. And so don't forget to subscribe and to like this video, and check out my previous videos to learn more about the different things that we do grow in our garden. So make it a great day.